Hi and welcome. Today's warm-up art session, I'm doing these art coins. And I do two of them. If you've been watching, you know that I'm planning to make a whole frame full of art coins. It's going to take a while because they're small and I want a decent size frame. So I make two at a time. I try to make them a little different, at least in orientation, so they're not exact duplicates in my frame, but they kind of do go together. Okay, so I'm starting with some circles cut from Bristol Smooth paper, and because that is my favorite, and some old paper. Why do I like Bristol Smooth? Because it just blends, so you don't have to be a master blender to make it look good. And I am not a master blender, but I think I can make it look pretty decent because of the Bristol Smooth paper. So old paper down first, and then I'm gonna use some scraps I've got from different projects. Maybe I'll have a scrap left of Tim Holtz collage papers, and this one, let's see, I always forget what this one's called. Typeset. This one's from Typeset, and I don't like to have straight cut edges, so I'm just adding a little water to the edge and ripping off so it is not straight. And I'm going to do one on one side and then one on the other side. And to put down the tissue paper or collage paper, I use Collage medium, and I put down the Collage medium, add the collage paper, and then seal it again. And sometimes it doesn't get, I have a tendency not to put enough down. So my layer's a little smooth, thin, and it dries before I'm done. So sometimes I'll peel it back just to kind of add a little more Collage medium underneath so that there are no bubbles. And I'm smoothing it out. See that one right there? There's a little bubble there, and so I'm trying to smooth it out first, and it won't smooth out, so I'm gonna peel it back a little bit and just add a little more Collage medium underneath it, just to make it stick a little better. And that's better. And then I'm going to add another piece down the sides. And I tell you, it doesn't take a whole lot to make a big impact. Of course, these are very small little pieces of art, but that's why I keep all my little scraps just for this kind of occasion when I want to add a little bit here and there and only need a little piece. That dries really quickly, and I'm going to take a stamp. This is a old stamp. It's from rubberdance.com. Before, well, I can't say before Tim Holtz because Tim Holtz was around a long time. But before I started buying Tim Holtz stamps, I had bought a bunch of Rubber Dance stamps, and this is like a ticket stub, And while I do have ticket booth, sometimes I just like to pull out ones that I haven't used in a long time and use those just for a little bit of difference. So I just put pieces of the stamp. I didn't stamp the whole image, just a little bits of it around some of the areas. I want to keep some of the areas with nothing on it, or at least not any stamp or collage paper, so that you can see some of the paper. I think, I can't say less is more, although that is a true statement most times, but I do like to have some vacant space. I'm going to give a splatter of vintage photo. And then I'll give that a dry. Oh, that's right. I'm going to also give it a splatter of white. And recently I asked for suggestions of a good white splatter option. And this was one of the suggestions. And I have seen other YouTube artists using this as well. And so I thought I'd give it a go. There were other ones that were suggested too, and I just appreciate everybody who suggested something. It means a lot that you're willing to kind of share your tips. For the white, I'm going to use a small tipped brush. I did wet it first. Don't know if I can't imagine it being a real good splatter, and somehow I got something in there right off the get-go. Anyway, so I'm just splattering it down, and it did work. It did not, it stayed white. It didn't change colors with the inks. So I am thinking that this is going to work. And I also dry that. I'm just speeding up my dry time here. And I'm going to be giving my edges some vintage photo, and I go in quite a bit. It's not just my edges that I'm adding it to. I'm going in maybe 1/4 of an inch. Almost maybe 1/2 an inch. But I love how the difference it made. I'm going to add some ephemera. The little squares are from digital pictures. I have a square punch, and so, or digital downloads, or maybe old papers like the song, the music sheet. I can't remember if that was a digital print or if that was an actual music sheet, because I do have some music sheets. So that could be either one, but it can definitely use digital if you don't have real. I know the other one, the ledger page, is part of a digital download that I use all the time. I'll have all the links in the description. These are my new, I don't know if they're honeybees or wasps, but they look, oh, I just love them. They're so, and they're different colors. These are kind of goldish color, but there's some that have blue, and they're just so pretty. I was going to add this leaf, but I thought, oh, I already had too much. But I just love the little bees. These look very, I like this one, this whole look, because it looks really grungy, fallish. I feel more fall, I feel more grunge in the fall. I'm not sure why, but I do. And that had a little bit of open area there, and that piece I just felt needed something, so I just stamped a little number there. Would have been nice if I had like little words. I don't have little words. That would have been nice to have, like maybe it was a phrase of the song. I could have wrote it, I guess. And I'm gonna get out my little pot of gold, and I don't know what to tell you as far as finding this, because I've looked to see where you could get it, and I can't find it anywhere. But you may have something else. Like you could even take, I know they have gold acrylic paints. You could take that if you can't find anything like this pot of gold. I've had it for a long time. So just look around for something that would be a gold splatter. I know they have real nice gold acrylic paints nowadays that shine real nice. I really should have put the punched squares down first because they go in the back, but I sometimes just get carried away with what I'm doing and don't realize, oh, that should not have gone first. But right now I realize it. Oh no. As I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, man, these really look awfully alike. And I think even though I'm adding these bees here right now, I think I am going to remove the little bee and add something different. Maybe a flower or a butterfly, just to make these look a little different from each other. And the last thing I'm going to do is just add a dark immediate edge. And I do that with scorched timber. But when I get it done, it's almost like I just don't like how black it looks. And so I get out the walnut stain and I go over it again with walnut stain. I don't know if it made any difference. But, and really in the end, you can't, you do know there's a dark edge, but it doesn't make that big of difference. So whatever you've got, use what you have. And here I come out with my walnut stain. And that's it. Stay tuned for final pictures, and I do switch that 1B up for something else, so you'll get a picture of that. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, give me a comment, and I'll see you next time.